Today's word is propensity. Propensity is an inclination, a natural tendency to act or behave in a particular way. This Barry Phillips with 10-minute Torah, day number 5 of the Torah portion of V'yelech. Once more, let's go to Deuteronomy, chapter number 31. And let's read verses 20 and 21. And I shall bring them to the land flowing with milk and honey, of which I swore to their fathers, and they shall eat and be satisfied and be fat. Then they shall turn to other mighty ones, and they shall serve them and scorn me and break my covenant. And it shall be, when many evils and distresses come upon them, that this song shall answer before them as a witness, for it is not to be forgotten in the mouths of their seed. For I know their thoughts which they are forming today, even before I bring them to the land which I swore to give to them. Propensity. It would seem that Israel, as a nation, as a people, as a race, as a covenant group, has a certain propensity to accept the blessings of Yah, celebrate them, become indulgent because of them, be fat, satisfied, smug, perhaps beginning to become arrogant, saying, this is just the way it's meant for us. I'm blessed. Hallelujah, I'm blessed. And then in the process of all of that, began to turn their hearts away from Yah, become hard-hearted, stiff-necked, and bent on their own destruction. Yah says, this is the pattern. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to increase you. You're going to have everything that you need. You're going to be happy. And then you're going to harden your heart against me, and you're going to forget where your blessings come from. And you're going to turn to other mighty ones, and then I'm going to have to allow the curses of disobedience to come upon you until you remember from which that you have fallen. And then you'll come back, and I will forgive, and I will restore. And if you read Israel's history throughout the pages of the Tanakh, you'll see that that process has been repeated over and again. Well, that was then. And we live in a much more modern society, and we have better Bible scholars, and we have more preaching, and we have the internet with unlimited resources and word studies, and we have all of our famous teachers and all of our famous leaders and all of this information available, so it can't happen to us. Put on your helmets and your seat belts, because it happens to us again in our day. I'd love to tell you that we are so righteous that we will not have to worry about all of this, but you and I both know that that's just not in balance. My question today is, how does Moshe feel? Moshe has labored nonstop, day and night, consistently, constantly, even risking his own life for this people, to raise them up, to strengthen them, teach them, instruct them, prepare them to enter into the land which he himself is now not going to get to enter into. 40 years of investment. 40 years. And now he is being told, Moshe, today you die. Today's your death day, not your birthday, your death day. And after you die, the people will indeed go in and take the land, and then this is what's going to happen. They're going to turn away. And Moshe even says as much in verse 29, I know that after my death you shall do very corruptly, and turn aside from the way which I commanded you, and evil shall come to you in the latter days, because you do what is evil in the eyes of Yahweh, to provoke him through the works of your hands. Moshe warned them. He knew what was going to happen. I don't know, maybe he's old enough now where he's saying, you know, I've done all I can do. I have tried to my utmost to help these people. Wash my hands of it, Master. I think that's possible, but I also know that Moshe has great heart allegiance and emotional, relational investment in these people. And so he's going to give them their best. And that's the heart of a shepherd. A shepherd will leave 99 sheep safely in the fold and go after that one that is lost. What the untold part of that story may be is that that lost one keeps getting lost. That this isn't the first time that they've been out there caught in brambles or weeds or being under the threat of their life being taken by a wild animal, a wolf, a bear. And they have been warned, and they have been scolded, and they have been reproved, and they have been rebuked, and they have promised, I'll never do that again. I was so scared. Thank you for finding me. Only to turn around under some emotional distress, some traumatic event, some moment of anger, some dispute, some argument, some hurt feeling, and off they go. And they sit in their corner, and they say, well, the shepherd will come get me eventually. Laura and I have been in the people business for decades, many decades, at least 4 at this point. And one thing I can tell you that we have learned is that people are people. And that may sound overly simplistic, but people will prove their humanity and their human faults and tendencies and propensities over and again to you. And it's enough to make you want to pull your hair out on occasion. But then, there are those moments where the light comes on and the heart truly is broken and the spirit truly becomes contrite and the ways actually genuinely change. It's understood and known that many people who are facing addiction tendencies and issues, they will never change until they hit an authentic, hard rock bottom. And there are many false bottoms on the way down. And they will promise change and turning over new leaves. And I've learned my lesson. You've heard it all. Only for them to go right back like a hog to the mire and to the mud because their nature hasn't changed. But there is hope as long as there's breath in the body and a king on the throne. As long as the Spirit of Yah is willing to deal with an individual, there is hope. There is a point that Yah says, my grace is no more. There is a point that the Spirit of Yah no longer draws. That's a very dangerous, desperate place to be in. And may none of us or anyone that we know ever find that place. Israel was in such a situation. They were full of great zeal, great ambition. They had big dreams. They were going to run across this Jordan River. They were going to march into the land. They were going to take the land. They were going to conquer these people. They were going to live in these houses and reap the produce of the land that someone else had put in the ground. They were going to have a victory crusade. They didn't count on the days of warfare. They didn't count on the endurance required. They did not count on the levels of resistance that they might face. There were certain areas of the land that were tough to conquer. The tribe of Dan tried repetitively to conquer their territory. They gave up and went somewhere else. They moved from the seacoast and went up to the north, and there they established a place for themselves. We have to be willing to be broken, to become contrite, because in all honesty, we're not a whole lot different than those that we've seen fail before. The only thing is, we've tried more than they have, perhaps. May Yah break us and bring us into our inheritance. May He remind us one more time of the power of His grace. Shabbat Shalom to you. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. May you find great rest, great ease, great restoration in His presence with all who gather with you. We love you, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, shalom.